Hi friends, it's Suzanne. Today we're going to be making this cute little box. It's like that. And I was thinking that this would actually make a really nice wedding favor if you had the, the paper that worked with it. But it's super cute. It's 2 by 2.5 by 1 3/8 about. So really cute little box. And I'm using in the example here, I'm using the Flower Pot Designer Series paper, but in my demo I'm going to be using flashback. So I'm pulling out the handy dandy scoring tool, and I'm going to use the big end of my stylus, not the little one, because I'm doing paper and I don't want to have any paper ripping or cracking, as they say. So the cardstock or the Designer Series paper that you, the sizing that you need is 8 3/4 of an inch by 6. So on the short side, which is going to be able to see, it doesn't really matter, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do 5/8, and I'm sorry, I got to count. There we go. Five eighths and 2, and I'm doing it twice just because I'm being gentle. And then I'm going to turn it around, and on the opposite side I'm going to do 5/8 again, and then 2. And then on the long side I'm doing 1 3/8, 3 7/8, 5 1/4, and 7 3/4. That's all we need the scoring tool for. Actually, I'll move it completely off my desk so that I have elbow room. Such a small space. All right, so when I'm using Designer Series paper, and I don't often do it for boxes because I find that although that you've scored correctly, it's kind of wibbly. So I make sure that my paper is lined up on the side before I go and score, or burnish, or crease, or whatever you want to call it. Because I find that dealing with paper as opposed to cardstock's a little bit more rigid, and Designer Series paper has a tendency to get wibbly on me. But I wanted to sort of showcase some of the papers that we have in our catalog, and that aren't just celebration. It's in the annual catalog, this one, the flashback. So in case you have birthdays, or you need a little box for something, you can see how it's done. All right, so now that we're here, you're going to notice that there's a rectangle that's a little bit wider than this one, than this side. This is a little bit bigger than this side. So this is the side that I want to put a little hook, or our little bit there, okay? So I'm just using a oval punch at the moment. There it is. Okay, so now we're going to cut, and basically we're cutting off these 4 squares here, 4 squares here, and then we're going to cut and wedge our tabs here and here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started with our trimming. Actually, I can trim that. So you can see what I've already done. Just because I'm lazy, I've cut a wedge on this tab already, and I sort of cut a wedge on our front lip as well. Just because if I'm going to be cutting, try not to waste your time and waste my time. Boop. Okay, so that's what we have for now. Oop. I'm going to wedge that out. So this is a nice straight cut here, but I do want to wedge it out a little, and I am going to take off a little bit there. So the reason why we wedge is so that because it's all homemade, you're able to adhere bits and pieces of your paper to a crease and have a nice flush close. Now don't worry about writing anything down. I have everything on my blog, and you can definitely go and check it out, sunstampin.com. And I've put the link in the description bar here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And a link also to the exact project, so you're not waffling through all my posts. So, okay, so this is what you should have. Easy peasy. So today I'm going to use my fast fuse because it's actually working for me. So I'll show you how it's going to come together. Whoops. Just like that. That's kind of cute, hey? So I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to use my fast fuse right close to the crease. Whoops. And because fast fuse you have to tick off because that adhesive is pretty strong, what you want to do is take a finger and hold it. And you do want to get that adhesive close to the edge. See, this is what happens when you don't flick. And also, when you're using the fast fuse, if you flick off that way once, you're going to want to alternate your flicking to the other way. It just helps. So this is what I was talking about, why we wedge, because I want to take this edge and go right to that crease. My hands are a bit shaky. I had too much coffee today, I guess. What day don't I have enough coffee? Maybe that's the thing, I haven't got enough coffee. And I like to take my time when I'm creasing those corners. So there's our little flap. And you want to, I think I will. I didn't wedge these guys out, and I actually should have, because, and you just want a wee bit. You don't want a ton on our little flaps, because that lid has to fit in there, and you want it to fit in securely. And you want it to close properly. It's actually hard to wedge out before you cut, so if you can remember this. There we go. It just looks pretty too, right? That's the box. So I am going to do just a little bit of embellishment, and I wanted to give you a little tip on bows. So I'm sure that a million people know how a million different ways to do bows, but I'm just adhering this wee bow on the top. I'm not going to wrap around. I'm not one to wrap bows around. I'm not fond of it anyway. So I'm going to teach you how I do a bow. So I'm going, instead of the rabbit ears and bulky blah blah, this is how I do it. So I'm going to do a little ear, and I'm going to have that front flap towards me. Then I'm going to take the edge here and wrap it around snugly. And because this, it has one side, you can see a seam on it, one side is smooth. What I'm going to do is twist it at the back so that I can make another bunny ear, and I'm going to feed it through so that the one particular side is showing. And then this is the tricky part. I stick both my fingers in the ears and I pull. Since I did that quite slowly, but now you could see that the ends are coming out exactly where I want them to go, and I can do a nice snug knot. And if you do it, once you get the hang of it, if you do it quickly enough, I did it quite slow, but see? The bow is nice and flat. See if I can get that focused. It hates me, my camera. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to cut the ends, trim the ends, I should say. And then just with a little mini glue dot, tap it on the box. So that's the little project for today. Hope you liked it. Hope you'll give it a try. Looks really cute, hey? I hope I see you next Friday with another project. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.